We are back.
From the Rivers property in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
This is the final table.
Last week on the final table, the snap call brought Antonio a snack that was hard to digest, while Phil and Joe's players still remain after passing the test. Maria and I watched the tank of the day that she thought was disgrace, and we saw a professor flunk out the table and a lawyer lose his case. Which one of our hosts will pay the punishment this week? Find out now on the final table.
I was supposed to go broke on that hand, honey. Except I forgot one thing. I can dodge bullets, baby.
Please, one time. Come on, baby. One time.
Every week to see who's going to win, and there are some pretty grave consequences. So go ahead and set the terms.
No, there's no way he can set the terms.
I'm actually really good at loading my dishwasher, but I don't really even see why we need to watch this.
Oh my God, I'm having a tough time, guys.
Hello and welcome to the final table, the poker show where the host picks someone to win, and when they don't, you have to put something gross in your mouth. Like Antonio did last week, he actually could not finish the saltine challenge, and then we almost tried to freeze his arm off. Is everything okay?
Everything's okay. The arm is functioning. Life is good.
This week, either Phil or myself will still have to try to attempt the saltine challenge because this tournament is far from over. Phil, if you lose here, you've already decided you're going Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, definitely going Worcestershire, yeah. The Worcestershire sauce, yeah.
The Worcestershire sauce. We got to get to the poker action pretty soon, but first, let's take a look at the chip counts as we left them last week. Brian Bartek, my pick, the EDM fanatic from Pennsylvania, has got a slight lead over Phil's horse, the guy who only reads things he finds on the internet. I bet jet fuel could melt Phil's horse. Michael Reno is bringing up the rear. He says his life story would be called The Struggle. So far, the story checks out.
Being the short stack is a struggle. I was a short stack recently with some big pay jumps, and it's a struggle. You feel like your hands are tied a little bit. It's much more fun to have the chip lead like Antonio always does.
Your life story is anything but a struggle. Let's call him the anti-struggle. Whatever he needs, just like a red carpet, 14 bracelets, no problem. How he does it, nobody knows.
We know how he does it. It's white magic. I've learned that if I've learned nothing else.
White magic.
We got to get things back down to the poker action. So for now, let's kick it on down to poker's most mismatched couple, Dave Tuckman and Maria Ho. And that's going to really drive them crazy because they're both going to think they're the too good one.
Yeah, we got it.
David Tuckman alongside Maria Ho. The final table down to 3 players. We are at Rivers, Pittsburgh. Button in front of Phil Hellmuth's pick, Justin Daly. Small blind Brian Bartek is Joe Stapleton's horse. Bartek's going to raise to 92,000 with 4s. How are you, Maria?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I feel like I've been really mean lately, and I think I'm ready to try being nice again.
I don't think it suits you. I think mean works.
I don't know. I don't think most people would say that, though.
Good cop, bad cop.
It's true.
One of us has to play the role.
Reno calls here with King 10.
This is always a problem spot for a lot of players, I feel like. You feel like you have to raise with 4s, but you're almost always going to get called, and you're almost always going to hate the flop.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, small pairs are so tough to play out of position, but like you said, you do feel like blind versus blind, you should come in with a raise.
Reno's going to float.
Reno does have 2 overs and a backdoor spade draw, as well as, backdoor straights.
Ace of hearts on the turn.
And this is interesting because this is a spot where, Bartek is essentially turning his hand into a bluff if and when he bets here.
Trying to get like a pair of 8s to fold, maybe?
Yeah. Or, 5s, 6s, some other hands that I think Reno could have in his range when he calls pre.
Reno, our short stack right now. Bartek, our big stack. And sure enough, the double barrel works. Bartek, the EDM junkie.
I think I wanted to see the other
You know what EDM stands for?
Electronic dance music.
I knew that.
No, you didn't. It was one of those things where you ask somebody if they know because you don't know, and then you wait for them to answer the question, and then next time you're just going to use their answer.
I'd buy them off you, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
So far.
I should have made something up like, EDM stands for Electric Disco Macarena. And then maybe next time.
Because that's really good. That's the best you could come up with?
On the spot? Yeah.
That's solid.
Blinds 20,000, 40,000. Michael Reno's going to call. Michael Reno, by the way, he idealizes Joe Dirt. Do you know what Joe Dirt is?
Like from the movie?
I guess so.
Okay.
I did some research. It's all I could find was Joe Dirt, the movie. Now, it's one thing to idealize a really good movie. Mm-hmm. Joe Dirt, according to Rotten Tomatoes, got an 11% rating.
And I can say that I must have read the review because I've never watched Joe Dirt.
Apparently a really, really bad David Spade movie. Although, a Joe Dirt 2 was made.
So Daly flops top pair here, and Reno has now turned an open-ended straight draw. He did have a gut shot on the flop.
Yeah, pot's 196,000. You can see that in the bottom right corner of your screen.
140. Call.
And Reno's going to bet here on a draw, and Daly's going to call, obviously, with top pair.
You're going to have some yellows after this one.
Pot now up to 476,000.
Golds, whatever. Tan. It doesn't matter what it is.
Random facts about Justin Daly. His favorite movie, Shawshank Redemption. He has read all the Game of Thrones books.
Guy has good taste. Love Shawshank Redemption, and I didn't read Game of Thrones, but I've watched it.
Right. Reno continues to bluff, and Daly goes nowhere. Snap call, and a pair of tens is going to be good here.
Do I have to show? He does. I'm gonna put my chips out there. No, it's fine.
Reno resistant to showing.
Yeah.
He finally does show the 5 high.
And you never like it when somebody calls without putting the chips out there.
Helmuth's horse loves it. We're going to take a short break. Back after this. Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service by the Final Table. Welcome back to the Final Table. We're at Rivers, Pittsburgh. Maria Ho, David Tuckman here. Still three-handed. Michael Reno, our short stack on the button.
1.8, 2.8. I'm over 3.
Picks up King, Queen.
95.
And he's going to raise it to 95,000 here on the button.
All in.
And Bartek moves all in.
Yeah, you can't really blame Bartek for effectively putting Reno all in here for about 22 big blinds.
Are you calling with King, Queen?
It's a tough one. I mean, a little bit has to do with the dynamic you have with your opponent, your history. How light do you think he is jamming against your stack size? It's close. I probably would fold, pick a better spot.
Reno calls. I would call simply because, as Reno being the short stack, he doesn't have to worry about laddering up as much.
Yes, that's true. It's only just about, if you think you're flipping versus being dominated. But yeah, for the better part of Bartek's range, he probably is flipping against.
Jack, Jack 5. Bartek 6 is still in the lead. Reno at risk. 4 diamonds, no help, and now Reno just looking for a king or a queen. 6 outs with 1 card to come. Here it is. 7 of spades.
And it looks like that will end things here for Reno.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to go destroy a Long Island iced tea. That's what he does, okay? The roofer and father of 3 destroys Long Island iced teas. And you know what? He can buy a lot of them because he has just made himself $20,000.
Feels like it's been fast.
That was really fast. My wife's not going to be here. Hold on, slow it down.
It's got to be.
So we're heads up. And not only are we heads up between Bartek and Daly, but we're heads up between Stapleton and Helmuth. Because that's what's at stake right now.
Who of the two is going to get punished? That is the question.
Stapes hasn't been punished much. Part of me kind of wants to see him get a little bit of pain.
But I feel like in the big scheme of things, most people are probably rooting more for Stapes and less for Phil.
I can't deny that.
It's going to be a re-raise here. First raise was to
295.
650.
So Daly opens. Bartek 3 bets. Daly immediately 4 bets.
Okay.
How do you like your ace-4 now?
I don't like it quite as much or at all, but it looks like Bartek is going to peel here.
No, but he hadn't even put his 3-bet in there yet.
Oh.
Daly announced a 4-bet before Bartek even got his 3-bet in there.
Then depending on sizing, I mean, you kind of have to toss it, right? It's the 650K, 355K to call.
He shows the ace and folds.
I'll show you. Doesn't matter, really.
Daly says, I ain't messing around. I'll show you my ace-queen.
I guess you don't like yellows either.
So we got two guys playing heads up. They both seem to be drinking alcohol already. Some might say that they're not taking this so seriously, but I don't know. I like to think of it as they're just having a good time.
Two commentators in the booth here doing commentary. We both have alcohol in our hands. Are we not taking this seriously? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this heads-up battle. About $36,000 difference between first and second place. These players deep as well relative to the blinds. I mentioned earlier that Brian Bartek was an EDM junkie. Have you ever been to EDC during the summer?
I would like to take this opportunity to tell people out there that I went to EDC before EDC was cool. Like, I'm talking about probably shouldn't have been there, 14-year-old Maria self at EDC before EDC became this crazy rage in the desert. That's me.
Have you been recently or no?
No.
No interest in going anymore?
No, I started the trend. I don't follow.
King high, the best hand right now. Both players check.
And now Daly catches up here by rivering a pair of 4s.
143.
143,000 is the number.
Call.
Call.
And I don't hate this call by Bartek here with King high. I think that Daly would be willing to take a stab with a lot of bluffs here just because the hand was checked all the way down to the river.
What's in?
I heard it's going to say, is that a word? It is now.
I suspect that Daly probably checks an ace as well and is not betting an ace, which makes it even more reasonable to call with the king high.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he doesn't have the nut king high, but, you know, king 10, still pretty good.
Blind still 20,000, 40,000. Another big hand for Daly. Ace king this
92.
time.
Raised to 92,000.
295.
You raised to 295.
800.
A raise, a 3-bet, and a 4-bet. And Daly's going to be thinking, okay, this guy, is he picking on me? What's going on?
I think for as deep as they are, I really don't like that Bartek keeps 3-betting with bad aces in his hand. I think that those kinds of hands you just want to go ahead and call a raise with.
95, 85, 95.
I just have it.
More heads-up action, and of course, a trip to the goat farm after this.
Nope.
And then there were two. My boy Brian's got a slight lead over Phil's dog Daly, but if there's one thing we all know, it's that heads up pretty much always goes to the guy who started with the chip lead. Right, Antonio?
Definitely not true. It's supposed to, but heads up, no limit hold'em, anything can happen.
Can go anyway. I've seen 10-to-1 chip leads ravaged.
Well, if you're wondering what happened to the name Michael Reno off that chip count, it's because we had to put him out to pasture on the goat farm. Action's gonna start here on Michael Reno, cousin to Robert California. Shout out to Froggy 101. He limps in the small blind with 5-3.
I don't have a problem with the limp with 5-3.
Game time, actually.
It's fine, there's a lot of money out there, you can't just be folding, but...
Daly checks his option with 10-8 in the big blind and flops top pair.
Top pair is so nice when you're heads up.
It sure is.
Well, this guy really does look like a Michael Reno, doesn't he? Leads the flop, quick call from Daly.
I like the aggressive play with the 5-3. And now he turns an open-ender, Antonio. Now what?
I think he has to fire again. I mean, if I led the flop and I turn even more outs on the turn, I'm gonna fire one more time.
So from bluffing on the flop to semi-bluffing on the turn.
I agree 100%. You gotta fire again.
And now if he misses on the river, he doesn't really have a choice but to fire again.
This is where you and I might disagree.
Well, Reno's left with the nut low here on the river.
I kind of like a big aggressive bet here with his hand.
And he does go big aggressive. He bets 300K. Daly quickly calls with top pair. And
That's my man, Daly. Woohoo!
So Phil's man, Daly, wins a big pot there, cripples Michael Reno. And I think we're very likely to see him all in on this hand. He raises to 95K.
King, queen on the button. I don't have a problem with that. There's the big blind. Oh, sixes.
I love this play with sixes. I would just go all in as well and put my man to the test.
Well,
Antonio loves the all in here. I don't. I'd rather take a flop. I don't want somebody to be able to snap call me with 8s or 9s, or I don't like the move all in.
The problem is they have
call.
to have 8s or 9s, and that's pretty hard to do in a three-handed spot. So
yeah.
Against all the cards, hands that are folding, I like to shove with pocket sixes. I think it's pretty standard.
Let's see how this flip plays out.
Now you can bet with your sixes. He's going to have to call 100,000. Now you're up to 200K profit.
Yeah, but if you go
now
in
you bet again.
If you go all in before the flop, you don't have to bet on any of the streets, and you get a full double up.
And less thinking.
Way less thinking, which is actually one of my favorite things about going all in. The lack of thinking.
I like to think. I like white magic. I like to put my powers to use. Do they have it? Don't they have it? You might bet out with the sixes, and he might move in with king, queen, and now you decide, all right, he's making a move, you call him. It's much cleaner that way. He only has 2 cards.
Right, but that's if the flop comes jack, jack, 5. What about when it comes 10, 9, 3? What are you going to do with sixes?
Way too much thinking happening here. David Maria, please save me.
I never get enough of the goat farm. Have you been to a real goat farm?
No, I feel like I've been at a farm with goats, maybe.
Have you been to like a petting zoo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Antonio, Phil, petting zoo. I mean, it's basically the same thing, right?
Can I feed them out of my hand?
You definitely can. I'd like to see that, actually. Can we record that? We'll talk to our producers about that one. Get a raise here from Bartek with the jacks. Daly calls. Oh, glasses.
No, just me.
I'm glad we're going to get to see a flop here.
Oh, wow. I saw the 8 come off right away out of the door, and I was like, this could be a huge pot. The fact that there are 3 diamonds out there might slow both players down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Bartek still probably feels pretty good about his overpair here, but there's going to be a lot of bad turn cards for his hand, and so I don't see this being a 3-street hand by any means.
That's a big bet. Look at this. Bartek bet 610,000. He basically bets pot.
Yeah, I think maybe he's trying to not give Daly odds if he just had, a dry flush draw somehow.
That's such a good bet.
And Daly just gives up top pair.
I top pair.
You're beat.
Yeah, I mean, Bartek's sizing there actually saved Daly some chips.
Button in front of Bartek. Blind still 25,000, 50,000. Queen 4 suited, certainly a hand you can raise with. And Bartek decides to raise to 115,000.
That 115, I knew it. I already knew before you put it in.
Did you?
I swear I did. It had to be. It's one more than mine.
Daly's going to defend with the ace-7.
I should have threw it in before.
Pot is 240,000. Queen high flop. This is an interesting flop. This is the kind of flop you might expect Bartek to check back or not.
You win.
Maria, feel free to chime in anytime you want. Oh, you're busy. I get it. It's cool. Bartek's going to take that one down. Kind of surprised the ace high just folds to a simple C bet. But that's how it goes. And Bartek wins another.
One doesn't say champion and one does.
Okay, Maria, I want to play a game as these guys battle heads up. Blinds, by the way, 25,000, 50,000. I have these players' bios in front of me. I am going to read a fact about the player that they have given us. You have to tell me which player it is.
Okay.
Oh, there's remaining 2. Okay, one of these 2 players doesn't read it if it's not on the internet.
I'm going to go with Bartek.
Okay. One of these players wishes Inception was real life.
I'm going to go with Daly.
You're right. Ding, ding. 1 for 1. Okay. Another one here. One of these players eats copious amounts of fish.
Daily.
Not very good at this game. And one of these players collects casino chips and coins.
I'm gonna go with my answer for every one of them so far, which has been Daily.
You're terrible at this.
I was actually trying to like read your facial expression to be like, which one is he switching back and forth between? No, it didn't do well.
All right. No bluffs.
You know, I'm actually gonna switch it up on you because you asked me a ton of questions. I didn't fare so well, but now it's time for our trivia question of the week. Which 4 poker pros once appeared nude in ESPN the magazine?
Ooh,
Hold on a second. What?
that's a tough one. Because I'm thinking, okay, which players would ESPN want nude, and then which players would agree to it? It's kind of a two-pronged answer.
I can't really think of 4 poker players that I want to see nude. So.
Oh, I can. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Let's get to the poker.
So Daly has 5s here, which is the best hand, but obviously this board doesn't look great if you're holding the 5s. Bartek just has a pair of deuces here.
Yeah, watch it now. Let's see.
It's hard to make a pair, though.
It is hard to make a pair, but you know the flush got there on the river. There's a couple of overcards. They are going to show it down, though.
So you're going to tell us the answer?
Yeah, of course, after this break.
Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service by the Final Table.
Is that what you put me on like every time I raise?
Welcome back to the Final Table.
thank you.
David, Maria,
That's
still here.
awesome.
Maria, I got to hand it to you. That was a pretty good question.
Possibility that
You're
that is what you
stumped.
have.
I am stumped.
The question was, which 4 poker pros once appeared nude in ESPN the magazine?
Call the
Ready?
Call the audience bluff.
Scotty Wynn,
Baby.
Daniel Negreanu, our very own Phil Hellmuth, and the beautiful Jen Harmon.
I'm usually 3-betting you. 130.
Call.
Blind still 25,000, 50,000. Bartek with the 3s, but not in the lead as Daly has flop top pair.
But Bartek's gonna call one, see what develops on the turn here.
8 of diamonds, both players with a diamond in their hands. So Bartek drawing pretty thin.
Daly's gonna fire again with top pair and a diamond in his hand. Sizing seems a little bit small though. Either way, I think this sizing's actually gonna make Bartek call, considering he does have a diamond. He thinks he could be drawing live to a flush here.
I kind of like this sizing. If we contrast this sizing to Bartek's sizing earlier on with jacks, this sizing gets him action, gets him value.
Yes, I agree. I think he is still going to get the same action from, the range of hands that Bartek is calling with. I think he could also get that action with a little bigger of a bet. River doesn't change anything as it pairs the deuce here.
Daly once again going for value. He bets 310,000.
I can see the reasons inside Bartek's head that makes him think he should call, but I just don't really feel like on this run out, Daly is going to triple barrel with complete air after being called twice.
This would seem like a good spot for the tank of the day, but no, it's not coming.
Thank goodness.
I have a better spot later. You thought you got off the hook, but no, it's coming. There's the call. He looks him up and great value bet by Daly, and he gets full value.
Nice hand.
Maria's having a makeup emergency, or so she just told our producers. I don't get it. I never have these problems, and I wear way more makeup than she does. On the weekends, especially. Anyway, I'll do the next round of hands by myself. You see the blinds are still 25,000, 50,000 as this heads-up battle continues on. Get a raise here from Daly with the old 7-4 offsuit. Bartek defends. Ace, king, king. I don't actually mind checking this back as well because I feel like you might check back an ace or even a king in this situation. You know, you don't need to actually take it down right away, and sometimes it's not as believable if you bet. The old 8-5 suited. That's a pretty hand. On the button. The old double gap suited connector. Ooh, but Daly's got 10s. A far prettier hand. 3-bet here from Daly, back over to Bartek, and he just gives it up. Well, that was exciting. These two putting on a good show. Nothing like a good heads-up battle.
Yeah, I'd much rather see people who are willing to play and willing to get involved hand after hand after hand than, you know, have one person completely take over the heads-up match.
Get a raise here from Bartek. Daly calls. Flop is fumbled by the dealer, but she does get it out there. King high. Nothing really there for Bartek. You kind of expect this to just go bet fold.
And that's exactly what happens here. I've seen more interesting hands in my day, and that's putting it lightly. If you want to talk about some truly interesting hands, try talking about some hands with no thumbs, which is exactly how Phil, Antonio, and Maria here had to operate our latest final table challenge.
Opposable thumbs. It's what separates us from the apes. Well, some of us at least. Anyway, life would be pretty much impossible without them, and that is the challenge we set forth today. These three are gonna have their thumbs tied to their hands, and they will have to complete a variety of tasks. Whoever completes it first gets a point. What has 0 thumbs and is about to embarrass themselves on television? These three. Let's do it. All right, my babies, the first task is a handwriting exercise. Each of these three have got to write the words, the final table on their piece of paper, and it has to be legible. I am the official ruler. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Go. I had Phil by a nose, and let me see this here. Everyone's was legible. Phil by a nose. Phil wins the first challenge. Next challenge, peel a banana and take a bite. The banana must be completely removed from its peel. As soon as the bite goes in your mouth, the competition is over. You guys ready?
Yep.
Go bananas.
Oh, no. It's all messed up.
Antonio is funny. Ari just completely crushed that.
How far behind was I?
Oh, Maria, that's not really a good
Shift
endorsement.
the sherbet to Herbert.
All right, third challenge. By the way, Phil's got a point, Antonio's got a point, Maria's got 0. For this challenge, you must tie a shoe. We're talking about a standard double bunny loop. Get there however you want, I don't care. But if it's not right in the end, it's not gonna count. Are you guys ready?
Ready?
And go. Ooh, I like where Maria's at right now. She tried to skip some steps. It looks like Antonio's
I'm sorry, what are
finished.
you guys doing over there?
And
You
it's
guys tying
looking pretty
shoelaces?
good.
I'm just hanging out. Just let me know when you're done, okay?
No.
Let's check this out. Let me see.
Oh,
the
he
shoe.
might have screwed it up. That's true.
Yeah, I just need to
Don't
keep
stop.
going.
Screw it.
Don't stop. Get it. Ooh, are these
I think
Phil's
you guys are
shoes?
pretty safe to stop. This is a pretty good knot here. Whose shoe is this, by the way?
Who else is?
Actually,
You know what is
Maybe.
impressive? You know what's impressive is these laces are so long that I knew I was favored in this match. But Antonio's a magician.
No, I'm a 5-handed magician, not a 4-fingered magician.
Look, the thumb popped out. That's why he won.
The thumb never came out.
We'll check the tape, don't worry. What I love is that this is Phil's shoe so he can see his own reflection in it. Quick recap of the score before we start challenge 4. 2 points for Antonio, 1 point for Phil, 0 for Maria, but she is not out just yet. And for this challenge, guys, what you're gonna have to do is take this popsicle stick, put it in your mouth, and then stack the 4 dice on top of each other. First one to complete it and have possession of it. It's gotta sit there for just a second or two. I will award the winner. You guys all understand what it is?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2, go. Maria's dropped one of her die. Oh, Antonio's down. Phil's got 2 on. Uh-oh. Man down. Oh, boy. Maria, don't give up yet. These guys aren't out even getting close. I think this is a case, Maria, where you do want to use teeth. Antonio's got 3. Looks like number 4 is coming. Antonio, he's maintained possession. He's got it. He's got it done. 3 points for Antonio. Phil, you were so close to getting Antonio beat you to the punch, but I think you would have got there eventually, Phil. Round 4 goes to Antonio Esfandiari. Antonio Esfandiari, you're the winner of the No Thumbs Challenge. Why don't you give everyone a big thumbs up? Oh, wait, you can't.
I mean, I'm sick of you winning, Antonio. All I do is win, win, win. No matter what I do.
We are back in Pittsburgh. Welcome back to the final table. Heads up, Maria Ho, David Tuckman here. Blinds, still 25,000, 50,000. As you might expect, a long heads-up battle as deep as they are.
Yeah, and I think so far, you know, with the exception of a few hands, they've been seeing a lot of flops. And like I said, unless they end up in a cooler situation, I feel like they probably will draw out this heads-up match a bit long.
Yeah, Daly's definitely had the best of them so far. But things can change very quickly in No Limit Hold'em. Bartek with the 3-bet there with 5-4. Flop is 10, 6, 8. Nothing there for either player.
$400.
He's gonna bet 400.
900.
But Daly's gonna raise to 900,000. I think it's actually a good raise because if you think about the range of hands that Bartek is 3-betting with pre, probably doesn't hit this flop too much. I think Daly has more of these types of hands in his calling range, actually.
Oh, nice. The one high.
You have it yet again. Good hand.
Bonus.
I needed one more 100,000 for your call.
What call? I had 400. I said 400.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was
Still anybody's tournament. Once again, a $36,000 difference between first and second, but from what I'm hearing, I know Joe Stapleton is sweating.
110.
Bartek's dealt a huge hand here, heads up. Pocket kings. Daly doesn't have too much, but he has enough to see a flop here.
He might get himself in trouble now. He's flop top pair. Bartek with the overpair. Pot is already 230,000.
Call.
And a quick call from Daly.
I think sometimes when people call so quickly, it definitely gives off the strength of their hand to me.
Check.
Club on the turn. Daly does not have a club in his hand. You can see Bartek does. Now Bartek bets 275,000.
Well, this time Daly didn't call quite as quickly, but he is still going to call here with top pair.
I noticed that Daly has fruit in his beer. I'm not a big fan of fruit in my beer.
Must
Your
be
thoughts?
like Blue Moon or something, probably. You're not a beer drinker, are you?
I
Oh, wait,
love beer.
you
Are
do
you
love
kidding me?
beer. Now I remember.
I love
It's like
beer,
your shtick.
which is exactly why I don't like fruit in my beer. 8 of diamonds on the river.
You're like desecration of beer.
I mean, this is not the fame or shame, segment. But if it was, I'd be shaming that guy for fruit in your beer. There's just no reason for it.
600.
600,000.
Call.
Oh, look at that! Bet 600,000 and a call. So just as I said, Joe Stapleton was sweating, not sweating anymore because Bartek now in the chip lead once again. More final table action after this.
Closed captioning is brought to you as a public service by the Final Table.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. Final table action, heads up, Bartek Daly. Line still 25,000, 50,000. Maria, how do you see this heads up battle going? It's just back and forth, back and forth. Who's going to win?
Honestly, I'm going to have to go with Daly. I really like the way that he's been playing. I think that he has a pretty good strategy against Bartek, and it seems for the most part to be working.
Well, Daly's flopped a gut shot. Bartek with top pair. 7-3, that's the Joe Hashem, isn't it?
I didn't know that, but I believe you.
2005. That's the hand that he won the World Series of Poker main event with. You get a bet from Bartek, a raise from Daly. Bartek's not going to go anywhere.
No, and I wonder if Daly is going to check the turn now and Bartek might give him a free card. I don't know if I would continue here after my opponent calls a raise.
I'm definitely going to continue when I turn the straight.
Yes, well, obviously. In this case, I'm sure Daly has no problems firing. Bartek actually has a gut shot to a bigger straight here.
I mean, you imagine this is probably a fairly easy call at this point. On the river, it's going to be a much tougher spot because the pot's going to be so big, and you imagine Daly's bet will be bigger also.
Yeah, definitely. I think if a diamond were to come off on the river, it would actually make Bartek's decision a little bit easier. I think he'd get away from it. There's just more and more hands that he can't beat.
This pot now 1.8 million. By far the biggest pot we've seen in heads-up play. I'm on the edge of my seat.
River brings the 10 of spades. Ooh. Quick 1 million bet from Daly here.
And it's decision time for Bartek, and I imagine he's going to take a long time with this one. Which brings us a perfect opportunity for the tank of the day. I know you look forward to this. I warned you about it before. It was going to come. Let's take a look at this one.
You did say it was coming.
Okay, dude walks along. Okay. There's a goose. Who doesn't like a little goose?
Oh my God! This is animal abuse.
This is great.
Who is scared of him?
Have you ever
doing anything?
Have you ever encountered a goose or geese or many? Go get him.
Actually, this is kind of fun.
He keeps going after
He's like
him.
swatting him away with the newspaper.
Go get him.
Ooh.
I call.
Oh, and there's the call.
Straight.
This has been the best 3 minutes of final table action. Goose, big calls. What a hand, by the way. That pot, 3.8 million chips, and your pick, Justin Daly, looking really good. And now Joe Stapleton is definitely sweating.
I'm a big fan of Brian.
You know, I have to say that wasn't the worst Tank of the Day video you've ever shown me. And I think I actually liked that video better than I liked Bartek's call there on the river.
That was your doing.
I rule.
You asked me.
I can't be the only one who was rooting for the goose.
I mean, yeah, that guy got really out of hand there.
Let's continue on, and now a huge discrepancy in the chips as Daly takes a commanding lead.
Check.
But Bartek flops top and bottom pair.
He definitely needs to be flopping some good hands and get paid off. Unfortunately, Daly only has queen high here, so not really sure how much action he's going to get unless he gets Daly to fire into him.
Well, he did. Daly bet 55,000. He is drawing dead.
Check.
Daly checks. Time for Bartek to bet, but Daly quickly folds.
I folded so fast you didn't see it.
I didn't even see it.
Once again, Brian Bartek is Joe Stapleton's horse, Justin Daly, Phil Hellmuth's horse. Who will be punished?
Well, I feel like Phil should feel fairly comfortable right now, but you know, anything can happen.
Daly raises, 6-4 diamonds. Bartek's going to call. Pot is 230,000. Uh-oh. Wow, look at this. Daly flops the straight. Bartek's got a piece of it. A pair of sevens.
I would imagine Bartek is just going to call here with middle pair, though.
If a 7 or a 10 come off, though, this tournament's over.
Yeah, that would be a bad card for Bartek, even if it looks good.
320.
Kelly, Frank's coming in your table.
All in.
Ooh.
Oh, and an all-in from Bartek.
You got me.
Wow.
You got me. I need a 7 or an 8.
I'm not really sure.
Sam. Good luck, man.
Was that like a mini Matisal blow-up from Bartek right there?
A little frustration, you know, nothing's been going his way, heads up. Who knows? But he's right. He needs an 8 or 7 on the river. And that is not an 8 or 7, my friends.
Good hand. Good stuff.
And with that, Justin Daly wins the championship in what was a commanding performance.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I think Daly just outlasted him to the finish line.
Maria, that's it for us. But don't go anywhere, because after the break, Joe Stapleton gets punished.
Is that what you meant?
I can't believe it, Vince. Justin Daly, victorious.
Good play, Justin. Good play. I would start reading some books if I were you. The internet is a nice world, but so's the rest of the world.
You guys, I'd really love to do this, but you know, like I'm not really doing gluten right now, and this is like enriched white flour, and all right, I'll do it. So remember, if I can't get down 6 of these in a minute, I've got to do the salt ice challenge.
Which means you will do the salt ice challenge.
You think I can't do this?
100%.
I will lay you
Salt
5
ice.
to 1. You cannot complete the task.
5 to 1.
You know what?
5 to 1.
If I knew I was going to do this, I wouldn't have had such a big lunch. All right, here we go. We ready with the timer? And don't start till I put it in my mouth.
Yeah, soak it up real nice, real juicy.
I'm
Get a
only
lot
going to
of
soak half of
Worcestershire
it. Here we
sauce.
go. 3, 2, and... Oh, no way.
It's disgusting.
You can't do it. Let's get those soaking.
Get it in there. Get
Get those soaking.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's
40 seconds. But you got to give credit to a man that knows he cannot complete the mission, but he's still trying for the sake of entertainment.
All of us were going to do that.
You can't swallow. It's like a dog with peanut butter.
Ugh.
Seconds. How am I gonna close this show?
Why don't you just take some Worcestershire and sip it down? Yeah, get a little juice in there.
Make mine a Centauri. I'm there. I'm tapping out on this. Antonio, bring me my salt and my ice. Hey,
Ta-da.
so they told me that it was too easy on Antonio's arm next time, so I got to do it on my neck. You wanna salt my neck?
Kind of. Is that bad?
I'm okay with it.
Wrong?
It's the 90s, man. We can do what we want. Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels nice. Here we go. You're right, it does burn. It burns a lot. Should I close the show like this? Probably. That's it. That's it for this tournament, guys. I'd like to say thank you to Maria and David. I'm going to do this real fast because it does hurt quite a bit. Phil Hellmuth, Antonio Esfandiari. I'm Joe Stapleton. Smell you later. Okay, maybe the neck wasn't the best idea. I feel like my arteries are slowing down. I'm getting... Oh, God. How much longer? This is genuinely quite painful. I don't think I can keep this going for... Roll the credits. Boom.